everyone, I am Casey Mergicale, and the podcast that I have chosen is a podcast ni Kenty. Kenty's podcast falls under the self-help genre and is hosted by Kenty, who offers insights and reflection on personal growth and well-being. The podcast aims to help listeners understand that while they may be doing well, there are times when they aren't fine as they seem. It covers the key topics such as identifying and quitting toxic habits, self-awareness, and other aspects of self-improvement, providing practical advice and motivation for a healthier mindset. Every episode of Kenty's podcast are typically organized around specific themes or topics related to self-help and personal growth. Each episode delves into a particular aspect of well-being such as recognizing toxic habits, improving self-awareness, or navigating life challenges. The episodes usually start with Kenty's introducing the topic, followed by in-depth discussion, personal anecdotes, and practical advice. The format is designed to be engaging, informative, and supportive for listeners looking to make positive change in their lives. Kenty's podcast features a structured format with recurring segments that provides consistency and engagement for listeners. Each episode typically begins with an introductory reflection where Kenty shares personal experience or thoughts related to the episode's theme. The main discussion follows exploring topics like quitting bad habits or building self-awareness. Towards the end, Kenty often provides practical advice or actionable steps that listeners can implement in their lives to foster personal growth. Recurrent themes such as mental health, emotional well-being, and self-care are revisited regularly, giving the podcast a cohesive feel while exploring this subject for different perspectives. Kenty's podcast offers a blend of informative, entertaining, and thought-provoking content. It provides valuable insight into personal development and self-improvement. The podcast is also highly entertaining thanks to Kenty's charismatic delivery and engaging storytelling, which keep listeners interested and entertained. Additionally, it is thought-provoking as Kenty draws from his personal experience to offer deep reflective advice that encourage listeners to reconsider their perspective and behaviors. This combination ensures that each episode is both enjoyable and meaningful, providing listeners with a well-rounded experience. In terms of production, Kenty uses only his iPhone for recording his podcast and also a mic, resulting in minimal sound design and music. The podcast maintains a straightforward format focused on direct discussion about challenges. With little noticeable editing, this simplicity adds to the personal relatable nature of the podcast. The target audience includes individuals facing similar challenges and sharing Kenty's interests. Kenty promotes his podcast through social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where he shares updates and engage with his audience. Feedback primarily comes from TikTok, where Kenty's posts engaging roles, plays, and advice. One listener commented, "Kenty's, you're great at giving advice," which highlights the podcast's impact on self-reflection and engagement. Kenty's is open to suggestion for future discussion and frequently interact with his audience. The podcast is available on Spotify and aligned with listeners seeking advice and comfort from someone who validates their feeling. Reflecting on this case study, I've realized that podcasting can be far from boring. Initially, I was skeptical, thinking might be a waste of time or dull compared to other forms of media. However, after listening to Kenty's podcast, I understood that podcasts can be relaxing, informative, and engaging. They offer valuable information and personal insight that might not be apparent through the other media. I would end this as Kenty says, "You're a star." And that's all. Thank you.